Hello, we're back again on day 28. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll bring our hands together. Take a moment here setting your intention for your practice or creating your dedication. As always, all intentions are welcome. And we'll make our way forward onto our hands and knees. And as you inhale, bring your chest forward, lifting the chin and tailbone up. As you exhale, round your back, draw your chin in, tuck your tailbone down. And again, inhale, widen across your collarbones, lifting the chin. Exhale, strongly press away from the floor, drawing the ribs and belly in and up. Inhale, chest lifts, tailbone lifts, belly still draws in. Exhale, belly in even more, rounding the back. And then one more time, inhale through your cow pose, and exhale into your cat pose, really rounding the back. And then come to neutral and walk your hands a little bit forward. Roll right under the shoulders. Reach your right leg back, lift it up from the inner thigh, and extend the left arm forward. So reaching through opposite arm and leg. As you exhale, draw your knee and your elbow in towards center, rounding the back. As you inhale, extend. Remember, drop the outer right hip down. As you exhale, like you're moving through water, draw the knee and the elbow down the center. Inhale to reach. Keep the ribs and belly in. Exhale, slowly bring everything down the middle. Inhale to extend. And then extending the right leg back, toes tuck under. You're going to press down into that leg, lift the left leg right into the belly, and then straighten that leg into plank. Now right knee to belly, and exhale, plank. Now knees back to the floor and back to table. And stretch back for a child's pose. So this class today, we're going to do some core work. We're going to lead up to a pose called Bakasana, which is an arm balance. So back onto hands and knees. Extend the left leg back from the inner thigh, lift it, drop the outer hip down, right arm reaches forward. So stretch through the arm and the leg, keep the belly drawing in. Inhale here, exhale, knee and elbow toward the center, round the back, pull in the ribs and belly strongly. Inhale, reach out, drop the outer left hip down. Exhale like you're moving through water, make some resistance as you draw everything to the center. Inhale and reach. Exhale, draw it all in. Reach out as you inhale. And then keep the left leg up, toes tuck under, press into the ball of that foot, bring the right knee in toward the belly. Then inhale, plank pose. Exhale, left knee in toward belly, round the upper back. Inhale and come to regular plank, then knees to the floor, shift forward, exhale, lower to the belly. Untuck the toes, all toenails pressed down. Inhale, cobra, pull the hands toward the feet. Exhale, come up and lift the hips for down dog. Arms, shoulders distance, feet hips width, and begin to bicycle the legs. Bend one knee and the other, stretch out the hamstrings. Keep your arms and your ears in line. Feel free to move the hips from side to side as well. Maybe move a little into the shoulders if you like. Bend both knees, stretch out the spine, and then stretch back through the heels. Pull the ribs and belly in here. Inhale, ripple the spine forward back to plank, knees to the floor, and then round through the upper back, press away from the floor. Then regular plank with the knees down. And then exhale to down dog. We're going to do the same thing with the knees off the floor, or you can keep the knees on the floor. So inhale, rounded plank. You're going to round the upper back, pull the ribs and belly in. Exhale, regular plank. Inhale, rounded plank. Exhale, chest forward, regular plank. Draw the shoulder blades toward the waist, and then lift the hips, stretch back into downward facing dog. So Again, we're going to use some core work here today. Look forward, step your feet to the hands. Take an inhale, now lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, fold forward, bending the knees as needed. Press down through the feet, rise up, inhale, there's our street, and exhale to Samasthiti. Finding Tadasana at the front of your mat. Big toes together, heels slightly apart or feet hips distance. Draw the lower belly in and up, spin the inner thighs back, tailbone reaching down gently. Inhale, circle the arms up, looking up. As you exhale, fold forward, hinge from the hips, keep a nice long spine, crown of the head reaching down at the end. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and step back into plank pose. Chaturanga, knees can be down here, shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhale, press up into up dog or stick with cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes, make your way back into downward facing dog. So always modify as you need to. Knees down in chaturanga, low cobra instead of up dog, or skip the vinyasa completely, take a child's pose. It's important to honor your body for your practice. Look to the hands, bend the knees, step or lightly hop the feet up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Rooting down through the feet, sweep the arms out, around and up for Utthita Hasta, and then exhale to Samasthiti. Tailbone down, belly lifts. Inhale, sweep the arms up, palms face each other. Exhale and fold in. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, come halfway up, find length here as well. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, stepping into plank pose. Knees up or down, chaturanga. Shoulders no lower than your elbows. Then inhale, press into up dog, shoulders over wrists, thighs and knees up, or stick with cobra. Use your belly muscles to lift the hips up and stretch back for downward dog. So you can isolate those belly muscles as you're moving from up dog into down dog. Just take your attention there and see if you can make the movement originate and happen from there. Right leg back and up, inhale. Exhale, draw your right thigh in towards your belly, shoulders over the wrist, press away from the floor. Breathe here. And step it right in between the hands, spin the back heel flat. Inhale, warrior two. Be sure the right knee is over the ankle. Lift your back inner thigh gently. Line up your front heel and your back arch and gaze over your fingertips. Shoulders right above the hips. Keep a nice steady gazing point over the fingertips as you breathe here. Drop the left arm, reverse your warrior, stretch through the side body, not a back bend, but a side stretch. Bending the front knee here. Inhale up, lean forward, right forearm to right thigh. Reach the left arm up and over for side angle. Spin the tricep down. Then take the left hand behind you to the lower back or reach it around, hook it to the thigh. And keep right forearm to the thigh or right hand to the block on the pinky toe side of the foot or to the floor. Try and roll the top shoulder back as you inhale, get some length through the spine. And then swing the arm all the way around the left arm. So reach it forward in line with the ear. Exhale, big circle around. Inhale, reach it up and over. Exhale, circle that arm around. Press into the heel. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the arms down and step to plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, up dog. Exhale, use the belly muscles, lift the hips, down dog. Remember, skip the vinyasas as you like. Left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, thigh toward belly, shoulders over the wrists, and firmly press away from the floor so the upper back will round a little bit. Drawing ribs and belly in. Lightly step it up between the hands. Help it along if it doesn't make it. Inhale, warrior two. Be sure the left knee stays over the ankle and points over the middle toe so it's moving toward the pinky toe side of the foot. Back arm as high as your front arm and gaze over your fingertips. Lifting through the chest, drawing the shoulder blades gently toward the waist. Now reverse your warrior, drop the right arm. Exhale, bending into the left knee, stretch out the side body. Inhale, come up, lean forward, left forearm to left thigh, and right arm reaching up and over in line with the ear. Then we'll take the right arm behind you, resting at the low back or hooking it onto the thigh. And you can keep the left forearm on the thigh or take it to the pinky toe side of the foot. Bring the back hip a little bit forward, bottom ribs forward, spin the top ribs back. Keep the length in the torso. Now reach your right arm in line with your ear, forward toward the front of the mat, and exhale, sweep it around. Inhale, reach forward, exhale, and sweep it around. Inhale, reach forward, connect with your inner rock star. Exhale, like you're playing your guitar. Come on up into Warrior Two. Inhale, exhale, windmill the arms down, and come back to Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, stretch back, hips lift, downward facing dog. Take a child's pose here if you want to break. You can always push the pause button. It's always, always an option. Otherwise, right leg up, inhale. Exhale, draw it forward again. Hold that leg in and up, shoulders over wrists. Step it between the hands. This time, walk your hands to your left and take your feet to parallel. Hands onto the mat. Lengthen as you inhale. As you exhale, fold forward. Crown of the head will reach toward the floor. It doesn't have to touch. If your elbows do bend, then line up your wrists under the elbows. Make a nice little right angle, little square with that arm. Shift the weight slightly toward the balls of the feet. Chances are it's toward the heels, so we'll make it more even. Keep the lower belly pulling in. And then inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up with a long spine. We're going to turn the toes out and the heels in and bend the knees. Try and drop the tailbone down as you lift your hip points up and press your knees back. Then gently rock side to side. So high squats, stretching open the hips here. So your knees and your middle toes are still in line. Pausing here at the center, inhale, reach up through the arms. Bend your right elbow. Take your left hand to the top of the right elbow. Keep it there or sweep it behind you. Hold your shirt or clasp your hands. Spin your right outer upper arm tricep forward. Roll your left shoulder head back. Continue to drop the tailbone down. Inhale, arms reach. Keep the legs as they were. Bend the left elbow. Take the right hand on top of the elbow. Either hold it there or take the right hand behind, holding onto the shirt or holding onto the other hand. And again, drop the tailbone, press the knees gently back. Spin the left tricep forward, the upper arm. Roll the right shoulder head back, creating space between the collarbones. Slowly straighten the legs. Turn the right leg all the way out, Warrior Two, and then exhale, windmill the arms down. Go right to down dog or exhale through Chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog and exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg, and exhale, step it between, or actually draw it in first, thigh toward belly, shoulders over wrist, using your belly muscles. Then step it in the middle of the hands, spin the back foot flat, walk your hands to your right, parallel your feet. Toes will point in just slightly. Take your arms out to the sides and then interlace the hands behind you or hook the thumbs. As you exhale, start to reach the arms any amount to stretch out the shoulders. Again, crown of the head will reach down. It may or may not touch. If it does, you can just let the head rest on the floor gently. And then come on up on your inhale, and we'll point the toes out again. Heels in, maybe a little closer stance with the legs. Drop the tailbone, lift the hip bones up. And then widen across the collarbones, draw your right shoulder down toward the center, wrap your left arm behind your back for a little twist. The right hand is still going to rest on the leg. So that left hand, if you can reach it on the thigh, reach it, or just keep it behind your back. Try and continue to push the knees back and drop the tailbone as you lift your hip points up. Back to center, drop the left knee toward the center Wrap your right arm behind your back, rolling the right shoulder back and turning the torso in a little twist. Create length through the torso as you inhale, and then maybe rolling the right shoulder back, twisting possibly a little deeper as you exhale. Now back to center. Let's bring the right arm over the left. So right over left, or you can touch your opposite shoulders. Drop the tailbone again, press the knees back. This is Garudasana arms or eagle arms. And release, arms up, left over right. Lift your chest, draw your shoulder blades down. Again, lift those frontal hip points up to create length in your lower back. Slowly straighten the legs, turn the left leg all the way out, warrior two. Inhale, exhale, and windmill the arms down, stepping back, either down dog to stay or lower through chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog, exhaling back into down dog. Let's walk the hands all the way back to the feet. And grab your opposite elbows as you hang here. Bend the knees as needed, gently rocking side to side, or if you want to go deeper, grab those toes. Take an inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold, using a little bit of your arm strength to draw you down. Crown of the head will reach toward the floor, lengthen out the neck. Now look up, and walking the hands back out to down dog. And then come through and sit. Grab a block. If you don't have a block, roll up a towel or grab a pillow. I'm going to take the block in the skinniest way between the inner thighs. Then lift the head and shoulders up. Draw the knees in toward your forehead. Try to make yourself into kind of a little ball. Cradle the head if it needs, if your neck needs support. So pull the knees in, squeeze that block, and lift the belly. And then release it. Take the block on its side so it's a little bit wider, so the middle width. Same thing, draw the knees in. Imagine you can touch your forehead to your knees. Maybe some of you can. Then keep lifting, squeezing that block and pulling in through the belly. Round it upper back slightly. Release it. Release the block. Make it as wide as it can go. One more time, squeeze it. Give it a good squeeze as you lift up again. Try and touch your head to your knees. Make yourself into a little ball. Upper back is rounding. Remember, protect the neck. You can hold the back of your head with your hands if you need that extra support. Keep breathing and release. Good work. Put that block off to the side. Draw the knees in. Roll yourself up. And back onto our hands and knees. But this time, walk your hands in closer to your knees, so they're just about a foot apart. Round your back a lot, like the cat pose. Pull the ribs and belly in. Now, pick up your right leg and press it to the outside of your right tricep. If you can't reach, maybe take your stance a little shorter. Round the back and press that leg. Release it. Bring the chest forward for a moment, little cow, and then round the back again. Lift the left leg, press it to the outside of the left tricep, press away from the floor, rounding the back. Chin is drawing in toward the chest, release it, and then inhale, bring the chest gently forward. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm ready to move into a little arm balancing. But first, to down dog. Stretch back, spin the triceps back, the outer upper arms spin back. Then walk the hands all the way again to the feet. This time we'll take the feet about as wide as the mat for Malasana. Drop the hips down. If it doesn't work to go down all the way, go down halfway. Make sure your knees and toes are in line. Some of you will be able to keep your feet parallel with the outside of the mat, and that's awesome. You could just keep it like that. Now we're going to keep those legs on the outside of the triceps and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as you press away from the floor, rounding the upper back a little bit. And then release. So it's a little modified Bakasana. Take a little break here and we'll do it again. Same thing, hands down, look forward, don't look down. Squeeze the legs on the outsides of the arms. Give a good squeeze, shift the weight forward. Maybe your feet will come up, maybe they won't. It's okay if they don't, of course. Now, if this makes you nervous, you can grab a pillow and put that underneath you so that it'll be by your head. We're just gonna walk into a forward fold. Then we'll try the full pose. Knees all the way up toward the armpits as much as you can. Keep the gaze forward. Maybe one foot will come up. Maybe the other foot will come up. Maybe both will come up. And you'll lift those heels up toward the hips. Keep the gaze forward and release and rest. So a little pillow underneath you in case your face happens to go forward, so you have a soft landing. Come onto the backs of your hands, stretch out the wrists. Let's do it one more time. So stick with the other crow pose if that feels better for you. Otherwise, take the knees up high toward the armpits, shifting the weight forward. Same actions, you'll still squeeze the legs toward each other, round the upper back, pull the ribs and belly in firmly. Keep the gaze forward, lift the feet up any amount. Breathe here, and then release. Crow pose, Bakasana, sometimes called crane or crow. Let's take a child's pose and rest. If you want to play with that one a little bit more, push pause and play with it. If this was your first time and it didn't work out for you, please don't worry at all. It took me years to be able to balance in that posture. If it was your first time and you got into it, that's awesome too. But remember, not about the pose. We keep our focus on the pose, it quiets our mind. Let's come back into downward facing dog. And then inhale, come forward into plank, and through chaturanga, knees up or down. Inhaling, up dog or cobra, and then back into downward facing dog. Stretch back, lengthen, and then come back through and sit. Come onto your back, and we're going to stretch out the front of the body now. Feet hips width, outer edges of your feet are parallel, heels under knees. Inhale, lift into bridge pose. Roll the shoulders under, perhaps interlace the fingers. Spiral the thighs in toward each other, reach your tailbone toward the backs of your knees. Keep your chin away from the chest, lengthen out your neck, widen across your chest. Hip bones are lifting toward the lower ribs. And then slowly release. Soles of the feet together, let the knees drop apart to rest. This is Supta Baddha Konasana. So we'll do another bridge pose. If you'd like to take a wheel pose, you can bring your hands up by the ears. We worked on this one the other day. No pressure, but if you like, hands by the ears, elbows parallel. Come to the crown of the head, line up the wrists under the elbows, and then straighten out the arms any amount. Please feel free to stick with bridge. If you have a hard time pressing up into Urdhva Dhanurasana or upward bow, yes, it is difficult. So keep practicing and don't worry if you're not getting up. Sometimes it can be tightness in the shoulders. Come on down and rest, soles of feet together, knees apart. It could be a strength thing in the arms. We don't do a whole lot of pressing in that particular way, so it takes a little time for those muscles to build. It could also be tightness. So you can do another bridge, you could do another wheel, or if you want to join me supported bridge, you can put the block underneath the base of the spine. I'm going to do one more wheel, and pressing to the crown of the head, line up wrists and elbows, and then stretch up. Tailbones reaching toward the backs of the knees. I'm pressing my shoulder blades toward my chest to widen across the collarbones, and I'm thinking of this as stretching out the whole front of the body. Chin toward chest, come on down, release your bridge, release your block, and then hug the knees in Uttanasana. Gently rocking side to side. Begin to rock back and forth, up and down the spine, and then all the way up to seated. We'll come into Dandasana, extending the legs, hands by hips, and sit up tall. Remember, sit on the edge of a blanket or the block to lengthen the spine if you've got a rounded back at all. Okay? Pull the toes back. Reach up as you inhale. Hinge from the hips as you exhale to come forward. Then inhale again, lead with the chest lengthen. Keep your length. So instead of rounding the back, we'll lengthen the belly toward the thighs. Keep the gaze forward a little bit toward the feet, or if you're down low, toward the shins. And remember, you can always use a strap around the feet or hold on to the legs. Inhale, lift the head, and exhale to release. Draw your right knee into your chest and bring your right hand behind the back. Inhale, lift up, left arm up. Exhale, take it across and twist, Marichasana C. Inhale, create length as you exhale. Roll your right shoulder back and pull your right toes back. Every inhale, see if you can create length, and then as you exhale, roll the right shoulder back. Inhale your head to center. Exhale, unwind, straightening the right leg and bending the left. Bring your left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm reaches. Exhale, take it across and twist. Every inhale, lift and lengthen. Every exhale, roll the left shoulder back. Pull those right toes back as well to keep the right leg active. And head to center, inhale, unwind, exhale. And make our way onto our backs, bending the knees, lying back, hug your knees into your chest, into Uppanasana. Lengthen your tailbone toward the floor, so get some length as you rock yourself side to side. And then we'll make our way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Make yourself comfortable. Open the chest, let the feet flap open, close your eyes. A little pillow under the head or under the knees if you like. As you're settling in, I have our quote from Og Mandino. Never neglect the little things. Never skimp on that extra effort, that additional few minutes, that soft word of praise or thanks, that delivery of the very best that you can do. It does not matter what others think. It is of prime importance, however, what you think about you. You can never do your best, which should always be your trademark, if you are cutting corners and shirking responsibilities. You are special. Act it and never neglect those little things. Start to take a couple deeper breaths as you make some movements in your hands and your feet, and then stretch out through your arms and your legs. And bending the knees, roll yourself to the right, pausing here for gratitude. Think of one thing that you are grateful for today. And then making your way up to seated. Sit up tall, bring your hands together, palms touch in front of your hearts. Let's bring our hands up to the forehead as we remind ourselves to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to the heart center to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications, sending out this positive energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. And don't forget, there is only one you, and you are special. So act it. And subscribe to our channel and push the like button and comment, tell your friends. We love our community. We want it to grow and grow and grow and grow. Please go to fightmasteryoga.com, join our mailing list. You can also check out things that are going on with Fightmaster Yoga. If we're going any place, we'd love for you to join us. If you can afford a donation, there's a link below. And there's also a donate button on our website, I think somewhere. That keep getting it updated. My husband keeps changing the website, but I think it's there. There's also an Amazon link or banner, and if you click that and shop through Amazon anytime, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps us out. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.